Hey guys, I thought this dollar bill would get your attention. Okay, so we're putting the money down and we're gonna talk about buying your first car on Craigslist. So, a lot of people haven't done this before. Um, they might not have a mother or a father, life coach, what have you in their life. I know I didn't. That went over this partly because Craigslist wasn't around when my parents were growing up, so they didn't have that option. It was more so like in the paper or by word of mouth or on a car lot, car dealership. Now we have all these great opportunities for private party sales on Craigslist. Craigslist is a great place to get scammed. There are a lot of scams going on, a lot of fraudulent activities going on. You have to be careful. If you've ever heard of the Craigslist killer, there are people on there committing heinous crimes. This type of stuff happens all the time. So firstly, I would advise you, number one, if anything else you gather from this video, I would like it to be that you trust your gut. Trust your gut. If you have an uncomfortable feeling, we all have a bullshit detector inside of us built in. Some of us have a better bullshit detector than others, but if you feel like your bullshit detector is about to blow up, you know that inside it's a bad idea. Walk away. Don't waste another 2 hours. Don't waste another 2 minutes. Just get out of there. If you smell utter bullshit, leave. Literally, if you smell bullshit, you don't want to buy that car. So, I would say, firstly, I would look at the ad, make sure that the ad looks legitimate, make sure that they don't want you to communicate by email only, that they don't ask for your PayPal information, that you can communicate with them at some point over the phone verbally. Because texting is great, but let's admit it, you cannot pick up on you can't pick up on someone's emotions as well as whenever you're speaking with them on the phone. You can learn a lot more. Some people are really horrible texters. I know a lot of friends that you cannot tell if they're angry or sad or mad or what's going on. They send like one-liners. So I would say at first you can communicate with them through text message, but you want to advance to on the phone. And I would probably suggest the first thing that you ask them, separate the car from the paper trail, because with a car comes its title, and with the title comes the registration of the vehicle, comes the value of the car. There's a lot that goes on. Focus more on the paper trail than the car at first, because this is going to be very important as well as this, but we're going to focus on this. So the first question you want to ask, get this out of the way. I'm going to save you guys a lot of time because I have personally bought some lemons in my life, and if I would have just asked a couple simple questions on the phone. You ever heard of letting your fingers do the walking? Like, you call somebody, figure out the details, then you approach the situation in person. So basically ask them about the title, ask them if it's clean, and if they don't know what that means, ask them if it's ever been salvaged. If on the title it says it's salvaged, has it ever been in any accidents? Is it paid for? Is there a lien on the vehicle? Does the bank own it? Am I paying off your loan? That kind of thing. Once you figure that out, that checks out, then I would suggest moving on to the actual car itself. I would say that you need to ask them about the condition of the vehicle, like the interior, the exterior, the motor, the transmission, the frame. These are the meat and potatoes of a vehicle, I believe. So ask them about the frame rust. Ask them if the transmission shifts smooth. Ask them about the motor, if it runs good. Are there any known issues with the vehicle? I like to also ask if the vehicle smells bad, because I have a weird thing with smells. So if it smells like cigarettes or weed or baby poop, baby vomit, your car was used for some weird porno scene, I don't want to smell weird things, so I'm just weird. So moving on from that, once you figured out that it passes that check, that we have, that it's something that you're interested in and it's not going to be a lot of work. Some people are more mechanically inclined than others, so you might be able to take on a bigger project. But if not, I would suggest that you just pass if it's too many problems. And the third thing I would ask would be about the price. Let's be honest, if we only have $4,000 and they want $5,000 for the car, we need to figure out somehow if they're willing to negotiate. So by that, I would say, I know you want $5,000 for the car, and I haven't seen the car in person, but is the price negotiable at all? And let them know, I know it's not a new car, that makes them feel comfortable with you. That way you can figure out if you're going to waste your time or not. Because if you have $4,000, they want $5,000. If they say no, obviously that means no. I might still go look at the car. You might could take a little bit off the top, but I doubt they're going to be able to negotiate with you a lot. Figure out their personality and how they behave over the phone, and if they seem like a nice person, then, and they say something like, if you ask them and you say, is the price negotiable, and they say maybe is a yes. Maybe means yes in this situation. That means they're willing to negotiate. So go with your $4,000. Go with whatever you have. People say no all the time, just to eliminate someone offering them less than what they want, but they might be willing to knock it off a little bit. So once you figure all that out, and you figured out that the price that they're willing to negotiate with you, don't only look for cars online that are within your price range. Look for cars that are $2,000 or $3,000 more. You never know. So, and then after you figure out if it's within your price range, the fourth question is, you want to ask them how long they've owned the vehicle and why they're selling it. And that's important because if they've only owned it for a couple days, that throws up red flags in my mind. That means that they're trying to sell it quickly for some reason. That may be for profit, which isn't necessarily bad, but that means they don't know a lot about the vehicle's history. So ask them why they're selling it. If they're selling it because their son, daughter, brother, mother, whatever, got a bunch of tickets and it's too fast of a car, or they need the money, that's a great opportunity to get a cheaper car. You can benefit from that. So ask them why they're selling it. That will tell you a lot about the vehicle. If they say that it's a great car, I really don't want to let it go, all this stuff, that obviously means, that there's a reason they're selling it, and they might not want you to know about that, because if there's something wrong with the car, they shouldn't be selling it, right? If it's a great car and there's something that, is wrong with it, then they'd want to sell it. So just be very careful. Like I said, use your head, use your gut. Feel uncomfortable, walk away. If you feel like they're lying, walk away. We can usually tell whenever somebody's dishonest for the most part, because people will lie multiple times, and they'll trip over themselves. So you can pick up on their lies if you ask them the same question twice, maybe in a different way, maybe after you've asked them a couple other questions. Don't be overly paranoid, but I just want to prepare you guys. There's a lot of stuff going wrong on Craigslist, so cool. So in our other videos, like I said, we're going to talk about what you need to bring with you when you go look at this car. I'm not a mechanic, but this is just life experience type stuff I'm sharing with you guys. I've made mistakes before, and I've learned from them, trying to prepare everybody. So next video, we're going to talk about what you guys should bring with you to make sure that you have a smooth transaction, and that you catch any problems. And then after that, we'll talk about negotiating and stuff like that. And then I might take you guys with me to look at a car. I might not buy it, but I appreciate you guys watching my first video. Please stay tuned. Thumbs up, thumbs down, good, bad, or in between. Leave it below the comments. If you have anything to add in, anything that may be beneficial, I would love to learn. I'm sure everybody else would like to learn. If you can add anything to this, that'd be great. Thank you guys.